Hey, second graders, it's Mrs. Cole here. All right, so today we are going to be working on making reindeer rockets. But we're not just going to make the rockets, we're also going to need to make the runway for the rockets. So we're going to go over that part first. I need you to grab your graph paper journal. Everybody should have this. If you don't have it, that's okay. Just grab a blank piece of paper. That'll work too. When you have your graph journal, you're going to open it up to the first page. If you've got writing on that page, don't use it. Open up to the next page. Your first clean page, you're going to open it up to, and then you're going to just tear it out, just like that, okay? So you're going to need to tear out 2 of these pages. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut around the perimeter of the page. So here I go, I'm cutting. And try your best to stay on the lines, okay? And when you get to one of these corners here, there's a trick. Try not to cut all the way up. Try to start cutting on the line again on the perimeter, and you'll see why. It has to do with our rocket and how we're going to make the holding case so that it can launch. So you, in the end, will have a piece of graph paper. Looks like this. So you trimmed off all the white edges. Now you're going to want to use the side that has all of them looking nice, because if you look at the back, see how it's kind of mismatched? We don't want to use that side. We want to use the nice looking side. Okay, so this paper we're going to cut into half. Half means that we've got equal parts on one side and then the other. So if we count across the row, we've got 10 squares here. So half of 10, so if I split 10 into 2 equal groups, it would be 5. So you're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down this line right here is where you're going to cut. So we'll take our scissors and we'll cut there very carefully on the black line. Now you should have 2 pieces of paper that look like this. You should also have your scraps. See how I have 2 that are not connected? That's okay, we don't need those ones. This one here that is connected, this is the important one. Save this one, okay? We're gonna set that off to the side. All right, so you have your 2 pieces here from the one whole piece of graph paper. You're gonna take them and using tape, you'll tape the 2 pieces together so that it looks like this. If you don't have tape, you'll use glue, and you're going to glue one strip like this, and then you'll take another and you'll just lay it right on top so that it lines up, okay? So let me go ahead and finish gluing this one. And then you're gonna do that again, remember, because I said you need to use 2 pieces of graph paper for it. So in the end, you'll end up with 2 like this. Guess what we're gonna do with these 2 pieces? If you guess putting them together, you're right. So either using, again, glue or tape, you're going to connect those pieces. And this is going to be our runway for our rocket launch, our reindeer rocket launch. So in the end, you'll have a really long piece of paper like this. And we are going to do one more thing with it. We're going to write our numbers on it so that when we launch our rocket, we know how many squares it went. Okay, that way we don't have to sit there and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can just find the number. All right, so you'll start at one end, and just on the outside part, so this perimeter, this perimeter right here, that's where you're gonna write your numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and allow you some time to pause the video so you can write your numbers down. Okay, so you've had time to go ahead and write down your numbers. So it should look something like this, all the way up, all all the way up. And you might end at the number 50. You might end at the number 49. You might end at 52. It's okay. Just as long as you have all of the numbers from 1 to whatever your last number is on that one side, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and take our runway and we're just gonna put it off to the side because we're all done setting that up. It's ready to go. The next part is to actually go ahead and make our reindeer rocket. So you should have a little reindeer that came in your distribution bag, and you have a straw of some sort that also came in the distribution bag. We're gonna need these tools, plus remember this scrap of paper that has the corners attached, and some colors. And we're gonna make our reindeers. Okay, so I have Lily and Cece here helping me again today. And what they are doing is they're coloring in their little reindeer for their rocket. So go ahead and take some time to color in your reindeer too. Okay, so while they're working on coloring their reindeer, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the holder. So if you needed to pause and color your reindeer, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, pay attention to this. So you see the corner that we have here? We're going to go ahead and we're gonna cut it so that we have like a letter L. Do you see my letter L? Okay, so you're gonna take your little letter L, and the longer part of the L, you're gonna curl into a cylinder. So what's gonna happen is that your straw is gonna end up going into this part of your L. So if you make it too small, so for example, if I made it to where my hole was that big, do you think that the straw that is this big is gonna fit in there? No, it sure won't. What if I made it like this? Whoa, sorry. What if I made it like this? That looks like it'll fit a little bit better, right? And I can practice putting it in there. As long as it fits, it should be okay. So what you could do also is you could take your straw, take your paper, wrap it around, not super tight, a little loose. And then with either glue or tape, this piece right here, oops, this piece right here that's kind of hanging off, you're going to either tape that down or you're going to glue right here and glue it down. Either way, you're going to close your opening there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this opening. I'm going to use glue today. So I'm going to glue right here, close the opening. So when it's all done, and if it is on your straw, it should sit on your straw just like that without you needing to help it up. Okay, now we have this flappy piece that we need to take care of. So you're going to take it off. And what you'll end up doing is you're going to fold your flap over. So see how there's a hole there, there's an opening. You fold your flap, but not too tight. And then you're going to either tape or glue down the sides right here so that it's closed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that part too while you're doing it as well. So let me, tape usually works better for this part, but if you only have glue, that's okay. I'm going to try it with glue too. Okay, there we go. And then when I glued it down, I have these little tabby parts hanging off. So I'm going to glue that also and kind of roll it around so that it's on there. Okay, so I glued mine on, and it ultimately will look like this. I'm holding the sides down so that they glue a little bit more, but it's gonna look like a little, like a pocket or a purse, and it should still fit your straw's end, just like that. All right, I'll go ahead and let you pause the video so you have some time to finish making this piece. If you were taping it, then all it would look like is the same process, but you would have tape on it too. If you have any tape that overhangs like this, see the part that's kind of see-through, you're gonna wanna cut that off, okay? All right, I'll let you pause and then we'll come back and we'll finish assembling our reindeer. All right, so in case you guys were having a little bit of trouble with making it with the L shape that I had, here's another way to do it. You have a strip of paper, take your straw, roll it around a couple of times. Okay, then you're gonna glue or tape, roll it on there. And then wherever your glue stopped, you're gonna go ahead and cut it so that it's on there. And you'll take that piece, you'll take another piece of scrap, and you're going to put it over the top, and you can either tape it on or you can glue it on there, okay? Now, when you go ahead and do that, look very, actually, let me use this to point. Look very carefully at these two corners here, because these two corners, so this one here and this one here, they might have a little opening. And when you go to blow, it's not going to fly the way that you want it to. So you're going to need to put something over it. So either another piece of paper and then glue it down, or if you have tape, really that will work the best. So if you have tape somewhere in the house, go find it and use that to tape up those corners so that your rocket will actually fly. All right, so now jumping over to the reindeer really quick. If you have your reindeer all colored in, I challenge you to try to cut out around it. So some of you will have your reindeer. It's going to be really heavy with all this extra paper on it. So I want you to try to cut out, not perfectly, but cut around your reindeer. Whoa, this is really tricky to do without actually looking at it. See how I'm kind of just cutting around, getting off all the extra white pieces because we don't need them. Scissors are getting stuck. Just cutting around. Thank you, Cece, for letting me do this with your reindeer.
It's fine. I do not know how to cut that.
And it'll end up looking like this. Then you're going to take this piece and you're going to attach it to your rocket. So the part that's closed, I'm going to stick it inside this so that I can hold it up easier for you. Okay, the part that's closed should be at the bottom, and your reindeer is going to sit on it like this. You can glue it. Unless you use tape, then it's not going to stick. So if you use glue on this, then the reindeer will stick to it. If you use tape, because it's got that it's kind of slippery, it's not going to stick very well. So if you use glue here, paste it on there. If you use tape, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your back end, take your reindeer, look at the back, and you're going to tape right across the back here to kind of strap it in like a seat belt, if you think about it that way. So hold on a second, Lily. So you've got your reindeer on the back. It's strapped in with the seat belt. Now you might have extra flappies here that are sticking off. That's okay. You can fold them over or you can try to trim them off, okay? So if you made your little holder and you realize, uh-oh, my straw doesn't fit, which is kind of a problem we run into, that's okay. You can either make another one or you can use a different straw, because I'm sure you guys have lots of straws in your house from like McDonald's or from juice boxes or whatever. So you'll find something that will eventually fit it. Okay, so you have your reindeer rocket piece ready to go. You've got your straw for it. You've got your runway. Now comes the time when we go ahead and launch our rockets. So before that, I want you to take a look at this paper. Please make sure that you put your name at the top, and we're going to think about how far we can get our reindeers to fly. So the whole time that you're flying your reindeer, you're going to have a few tries to go ahead and try to get it to launch right. But then after that, you're going to record 3 times that it flew. Then you're going to think about what made your reindeer fly the farthest. So when we think about those kinds of things, we're talking about, okay, maybe it was the type of straw that you used, or maybe it was when you used glue or tape that made it heavier or lighter. Maybe it's because of the way that you blew it. We're not sure right off the bat because we haven't done this before, but we can make guesses as to what can help your reindeer fly farther. So even the angle in which you blow it makes a difference. So if you're blowing like this versus blowing like this versus blowing like this, there are lots of different things to look at. All right. You've got all of your stuff prepared. We know that we're thinking about what might help our reindeers fly farthest. And then we're going to do a couple of practice blows, and then we'll record our 3 actual attempts. Oh boy, I'm so excited. Okay, so we've got Lily and Cece here, and they're practicing because they've never really done this before. So see how Cece's isn't flying? You hear the noise it's making? Do it again. So that's because she has hers too far in. If it's all the way in, then it's not going to fly. You need to pull it out just a little bit so that it has some room. Oh, that's a little too much, baby. Can I help you? Hold on, Lily. Oh, I see what happened. It got snagged on some paper. Okay, now try. And there it goes. So you just have to play with where your reindeer is. So if it's pushed all the way in, it can't go in anymore. It's not going to work. You have to pull it out just a little bit so that your reindeer has room to fly. Okay. All right. So keep on practicing. Whoa. Keep on practicing. Keep on practicing. There we go. Get used to how you can make it fly. Where, oh, I'm noticing with Cece's where she's putting her reindeer, it's making a difference. So how far on it is and how far off. Very good. And with Lily, it looks like she's trying to test how much breath she gives it, how much she puts into it, how much huff and puff she's doing.
That fell out.
All right. So after you're done practicing, we are going to go ahead and set up the runway so that we can actually measure. Okay, so now we're ready to launch. So Cece's going to go first. She's got the runway in front of her. She's sitting at the table, so it would probably work best if you were sitting down somewhere, not necessarily standing up while doing this because that's going to alter your test. And she's got her reindeer inside of her straw. Remember, it's not all the way pushed in. It's pulled out just a little bit so that there's room for the air. Sorry, you might want to readjust that, baby. Okay. And then what she's going to do is she's going to stand up or sit up nice and straight. She is not going to lean forward. So her reindeer's not starting at the number 1. It's actually behind it. Here, let me move you guys so that you can see better. Cece, stay just like that, okay? I'm going to show them what it looks like. So see how, no, sit the right way, sit up straight. So see how her reindeer is not touching this? It's not over the paper like this. It's just in front of it. Okay, hold on. So you're going to sit. You're going to have your reindeer ready. And then we'll launch it and I'll show you how to calculate it. All right, launch in 3, 2, 1. Nope, there it goes, it's gone. Okay, so it flew so that everybody can see. This first one, it flew off the chart. So there's the, oh, where are we? There's the chart. There's her reindeer. So what we're gonna do is we'll mark right where the end of it was. So we've got 50. Okay, so we'll somehow point that that's where it was at. And then we're gonna bring our chart up. And we're gonna see just about where her piece is compared to the chart. So, this is really hard to do when I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna just drag it over. Just dragging. Okay, so it got up and we're gonna measure to where the antlers reach. It got up to 17. So my highest number was 50, and I'm gonna add 17 to it. That would give me 67. So then in this box here for Cece, where it says, how far did your reindeer fly? I would write, my reindeer flew 67 squares on my first attempt. Does everybody see that? Let me set you guys back down so I can show you better. See? All right, now you're gonna do that 2 more times and you're gonna record it every single time, okay? All right, I will let you guys have your turns at going ahead and flying your rockets. We're gonna fly our rockets a few more times here too, just in case you guys aren't able to. That way you get to see it and experience it and help us count. All right, here we go. Susie, second attempt, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I may have smashed your reindeer down a bit, sorry. There you go. So we've got the flight path right in front of you. Okay, hold on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, perfect. Okay, let's see. What number did it get to, Cece? Where did the antlers go to? We got to the number, I'd call it, oh, it's like 28 and a half. We'll say 28 because most of it's in 28. So on her paper, she'll write down 28. And she'll do it one more time, and then it's Lily's turn.
And then after Lily's turn, Mom, is it my turn again?
Yes, and then you can keep going. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need, oh, wait. You got to scoot back, remember, because you're messing up your data. You got to sit back and make sure that it's not over the line. 3, 2, 1, launch. Very nice. Okay, and then we'll move it over. And we'll see which one it's mostly in. Oh, look at that. It's 28 again. Perfect. Wow. So on average, you're about 28. Very good. Okay, let's let your sister have a turn. Watch out, baby. Let your sister have a turn. So move. She needs to be right here.
All
right, your turn, Lily. And this is a really fun thing for you to do with your siblings too. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're gonna line it up. What do you think it's at, Lily?
38. I mean, yeah, 38.
Nope, it's up here in 40. See where it's mostly at? Right there. All right, go ahead, keep going. 2 more. 3. Okay. We're gonna line it up. Let's take a look at it. Okay, what do you guys think? Well, what do you think? I would say probably 23, because if we were to rotate it, that antler would be up in 23. So I'd probably write down 23 for that. I know it's barely touching 24, but most of it's in 23. Okay, and then one more. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm gonna move it so that it's, closer to the actual runway. And here we're at, I would say 39 because that's the highest one that it's touching. Perfect. So Now, once you've blown and you've recorded, meaning you've written down all of your tries, your attempts, we're going to look at this bottom box and think about what made your reindeer fly the farthest. So, Cece and Lily, I want you both to think about it. What do you think made your reindeer fly the farthest?
For blowing hard.
Do you think blowing hard helped you? What do you think, Lily?
I think maybe just angling it and blowing it hard.
Okay. I know with yours, Cece, you were not putting it in all the way and you were kind of angling it different sometimes, right?
Yeah, because the tape. Well, because of the tape paper, it's getting a little bit farther into it.
Very good. Nice explanation. Okay, so you guys will think about it. Well, there you are. You guys will think about it, and then you're going to go ahead and write it down here. Now, when you're all done with this, please make sure your parents take a picture of this sheet and a picture of your rocket, your reindeer rocket. All right. This is Mrs. Cole from 2nd grade signing off. Oh, with Cece and Lily, of course. Have an excellent rest of your day. Bye, guys. Bye. Enjoy your rockets.